Welcome back. We shall continue our discussion on lists in this video. We shall see how to access the elements of our list. So we shall again take this example of our list L1. The elements of this list L1 are accessed through what is known as index. Index is the position of the elements. The indexing in Python starts from 0. So what that means is each of these positions has a specified number which the Python understands internally, and those positions are starting from 0. So it goes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. For example, this is our list L1 and it contains the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The index of those elements starts from 0 and it goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And how do we access the elements of our list? It is very simple. We access them by the index. If I want to access the first element of this list, I can do so by giving the name of the list, and in the square bracket I give the index of the element. So the first element has index 0. I can print it to see that that is what I'm accessing in fact. So the first element of this list is 1, and now I am able to see that the output is 1 here, the last output. Likewise, we can access the 0, 1, 2. The third element of this list can be accessed by giving the index 2, because 0, 1 and 2. So here 2 gives the third element of this list is 3. Similarly, we can access the fourth element of list L2, which is going to be 1.5, and if I want to access the fourth element, I should give the index as 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, and here I have to change the name of the list as well, L2. We have the output here as 1.5, which is expected. If you see this list L2, there are 8 elements here actually, 5, 6, 7. The index goes from 0 to 7. So if I want to access the 8th element, I should call it by the index 7. Which is the last element false. There are few more functionalities here which one should know. The indexing starts from 0 if you are counting it from the beginning, but if you want to call the last element is given an index -1. So if I want to call the last element of list L2, I can give the index -1 and again print it and see. So I'm getting the same output here, false. The negative indexing actually goes from right to left. So if I want to access the second element from the last, I can give the index -2. I get the output true. If I want the fourth element from the last, I'll go -1, -2, -3, -4. So -4 is if I give the index as negative index and the fourth element starting from 1, actually 1 as in -1, -2, -3, -4, the expected output here is 2.5 for this, which is 2.5. There is also the concept of slicing. If I want to access a subset of this list, if I want to access the first 3 elements of a list, I can do so. Again, we'll work with list L2 here. I have to give the starting index, and I have to give the starting index inside this square brackets. Starting index, I have to give the stopping index. So let's just say 0, 1. So it's a bit tricky here, but let's just say 0, 1, 2. I want to go from 0 to 2, and these two indices have to be separated by this colon. We'll just see by example. Actually, we'll just run it and see what happens. What happens here is what's printed out is the first and second element of this list. So that means 0th element and first element of this list are printed. In more simpler terms, as a rule, we should remember that the slicing goes from the first element included and last element is not included. So that is how it goes. If you want to see another example, so if I want to print out the first 5 elements of this list, I have to start from 0 and I have to go till 5, and then I can access the elements 0th element, first element, second element, third element and fourth element, which makes it 5 elements in total. So there you go. I get 1, 2, 3, 1.5 and 2.5. These are the first 5 elements of this. The indexing goes from 0 to 5, but the element with index 5 is not printed, is not accessed here. That is a small introduction for slicing. The slicing can actually go in negative direction also, in the opposite direction. The slicing goes like this, -3 to -1. we get the -3 element which is hello, and we get the -2 element which is true, but again the last index is not, the stopping index is not printed out, and we get the output as true but not false. A little bit more on index slicing. So if we don't specify anything at the beginning, and if we just specify the ending stopping criteria, stopping index of the list, it automatically starts from the very first element. So this picks up from the starting element is by default 0, and it goes until the third element, which is 0 1 2 up to index 2. So we can print this, and we see it's like 1 2 3 are the first three elements of this L2. In the same manner, if you want to have the if you want to print out the elements starting at -2 index, and we want to go up to the until the last element of the list. So here this is the -1 element and -2 element. So the expected output here is start printing out the list, or slice the list from -2 index and then go until the very end. So we expect the output true and false. These two elements of this list are expected to be printed out here if you run it. Yeah, and that is what we have here, true and false. So this is a slight introduction about list slicing, and we'll stop here for this video, and we will continue this discussion in one of our next videos. See you soon. Bye.